Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Constance the Reader, and today we are doing a book tag video, and we're going to be doing behind the Booktube book tag. Very exciting. Have I filmed this several times? Yes. Hoping that this one sticks. Pray for me. If you see me in the sweater, this is the last time I'm doing this. Period, end of story. Anyway, I found out about this book tag by the Becca Fowl, and the original creator is Shelly Ish. And we've got a few little questions. I'm excited. Also, there is no like prompt here that says tag these people, but if you're feeling funky, participate. I'm gonna put the questions down in the description box down below. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first up, what has surprised you the most about Booktube, both in a good way and in a bad way? I haven't had any bad surprises, thankfully. I, knock on wood, have had a good experience since I started this channel in 2020, I think. I think the thing that's been a good surprise is how nice the people are that I've met. I've received a lot of really great advice. I have met a lot of people who are super supportive. So I'm not surprised by that, but I think we all kind of have moments where we think like, I know that that exists. I just didn't think that I was going to experience it. And I just really appreciate all of the nice people that I've met since I've had this channel. And I just haven't had many bad surprises. Maybe I'll say this. I didn't think that there was so much. This is going to be about the bookish community. I would say the amount of bookish drama, that's been a surprise. But as far as like being on Booktube, like I haven't had any bad surprises that affected me, thank God. Again, knocking on wood. But there's a lot of drama in the Booktube community. It would surprise you. I'm constantly informing my sister of it. She's very shocked. So is my husband. I tell my friends. It's interesting. I didn't expect that. Next, how do you balance reading and Booktube with the rest of your life? It can be kind of hard. The job that I have requires me to travel from store to store. So obviously I'm driving a lot and then I'm in a store, but I try to read in between visits on my lunch break. But when I'm at home, I may have many books beside me. It doesn't mean I will always read. And because I'm a mood reader, I could have 1 hour or so where I'm just like binging something. I'm just in the mood to read. And another day I might not have any energy. And I know that there's been a few weeks where it felt like I didn't read all week, or I'll kind of go into a reading slump. So it can be kind of hard having like a 40-hour work week and then reading at the same time. But the good thing is that my hobby, the thing I pass time with, is reading alongside TikTok, which that can be the problem. Really, it's how do I balance reading and looking at TikTok at the same time? TikTok always seems to win. But it's not so bad. If you just make the time to read, you can do it. Audiobooks are a really good way, I think, on the go as well for me. Like when I'm driving, usually I drive in silence, which I know probably seems very psychotic. It's not. I enjoy the silence. Sometimes I'll listen to an audiobook and that helps. I listened to the Jennifer Lewis memoir in a day. It was just so good. So yeah. Have you ever thought about starting a Patreon? I mean, I've thought about it. Would I do it? Probably not. I don't think that I have a big enough following to do that. I think if I ever became monetized, I would start a Patreon. It doesn't necessarily mean I would charge anybody to join it, but because at that point, if I'm making money off of this, I would do it full time. I kind of came to that conclusion the middle of this year that if I got to a certain point where I was getting monetized off of this, I would make it my job. And my husband agrees. He's like, hey, if you want to do it, you can quit. You can do this full time. But as of right now, I don't think that it makes sense for me to have a Patreon. And like, I'm able to sit down right now and film this, but I have had no motivation like for a week and a half. And I just don't know that I could do it consistently. That would be fair to people who would be subscribing to that. You know what I mean? Especially if I charged people. If I was going to charge people for a Patreon, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing what I got to do. I have friends that, create content. That's their job. And I know that it takes a lot of work. So I would be on my toes getting it done. But as of right now, I have another job. I don't like it, but I have another job. So I got to focus on that. I know, it sucks. Do you have any advice for new booktubers? Yes, I do. So the number one thing that you'll find when you Google a video of like advice on starting a YouTube, what I saw at least was use what you own first. Don't jump in with paying a bunch of money for equipment that you don't necessarily need, because I started with my phone, filming on my phone. I've continued to film on my phone. I had a moment where I was like, if I hit 500 subscribers, maybe I'll gift myself a camera. Also excited because I did hit 500 subscribers, so that's really exciting. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I'm doing well with my phone, so I might as well just keep it. And the videos look nice. I don't mind it. So start with what you have. Know that, you know, your first video might not look like the video from the booktuber that you follow that's been doing it for many years. That was a thing that I was so nervous about starting a booktube channel for. I was like, my videos aren't gonna look like so-and-so's. They're so cool and they're so pretty and they edit them so well. Everybody has to start somewhere. And honestly, now as I've gotten better about editing, I've gotten a little bit faster with editing. I watch my own stuff. So, you know, if I went back and looked at my old videos and I look at it now, it's like that progression is also really cool. That's part of the fun of doing something like this. So start with what you have, because a lot of what you have, it's free to use. I have a MacBook. I have iMovie. I don't have to buy additional editing if I don't want to. I started with my husband's tripod, which I'm still using to this day. I mean, the newest things that I've added to my videos, I got these inexpensive studio lights. Still trying to figure that out. It's hard when you have glasses and they glare on your face, but start with what you have. Do it for as long as you're having fun. Don't feel like you can't take breaks. If you are not in a place where you feel like creating something, or if you feel like it becomes overwhelming, don't continue. Give yourself a break so that you can come back when you want to. I've also followed people that started off on BookTube and now they're no longer creating like long form videos, but they have really awesome bookstagrams, or I see their TikToks and they're so cool. You don't have to do it this way. Find what works for you. And if you're not having fun, don't push yourself to do it, because the other thing that made me kind of feel apprehensive was the why I left BookTube videos. Those kind of made me a little bit nervous, but one of the things that many people in those videos said, which my last point would be, that they ended up getting so wrapped up in subscribers and views that they ended up reading things that they didn't like, because they felt like they had to read what was new. They had to read what was big right then so that they could get a bunch of people to follow them. And it made them realize like they were not reading for fun anymore. They didn't like the stuff they were reading, and then they spent a bunch of money that they didn't necessarily want on these books. And I think that it's really important to just always have fun, be yourself. If it matters to you about those things, then that's okay. You know, do what you gotta do, but just know that you don't have to keep up with everybody else, because a lot of bigger like creators get a lot of these things for free. You know, you might not get something for free. So if you can utilize like a library, do that. If you can do secondhand, do that. But don't feel like you have to keep up with everybody else. And don't feel like you have to read stuff just so you can get subscribers, because just read what makes you happy. People will see the real you, and that's what matters. What are your thoughts on the YouTube algorithm? Don't know much about it, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a good answer for that. I really don't. I don't know much about the YouTube algorithm. I'm sure it's kind of like how it is with TikTok, like depending on your tags and who you collaborate with, you have a better chance of getting your video and content pumped out to people, but I'm not sure. I just recently had someone find my video because I think it was suggested to them, so that's cool. I don't know if I did something in particular, but that's exciting. But I don't know enough about it, so I couldn't even give you advice. I definitely ask someone who's been in the game a little bit longer, that's for sure. How do you decide what videos to make? The easiest ones to make are obviously a wrap up and a TBR and maybe like a recent reads. So you know that you have like 2 to 3 in there. That's super easy. Next would be a book tag like this. All the work is already done for you. Someone already created the questions, which is really nice. Which would also be cool if you decided to make a book tag video. And they're really cool. A la the time we were on MySpace and we had those questionnaires, which I love to do all the time. I love to answer questions. It's my favorite thing. A vlog would be next. I want to get better about vlogging. I was starting a vlog, I think, last week, and it kind of petered off, but then sometimes I have to remind myself it's okay. Like, also, who really knows what day it is? Okay, I could have filmed something 2 weeks ago, pick it back up, and you would never know that it was 2 weeks later. But it's hard. I don't have a lot of other ideas, so I try to stick with the ones that are easiest so I can stick to the commitment I made to myself, which was posting something every month. But I do wish that I had like more creative stuff out there. I like when I do vlogs, I just don't do them enough. And yeah, that's about it. I don't have any crazy ideas, but I stick to a lot of the basics, which is most likely limiting me. So maybe 2024, I get a little bit better about that. Are you ever overwhelmed with video ideas? No, I'm actually more so overwhelmed with the lack of them. Going into the last question. Maybe it's due to my job, because like I'm out of the house for so long. When I get home, I want to just do nothing. So it's really hard. So it's more so overwhelming that I don't have a lot of ideas. And then I get really disappointed in myself if for like a whole week I didn't film anything, or a situation like this where I wasn't happy with the thing I filmed. So now I'm going to have to re-film it all over again. But that's just the reality. It is what it is. Have you ever regretted posting a video? No, because if I don't like something, I'm not posting it. Again, I filmed this several times. I didn't like it the first time. It was way too long. The second time, I don't think I mind it. I mean, who knows? I might go back to that one. You might not ever see this. Who knows? But I've never filmed something that I regretted and then put it on the internet for people to see. I think the only thing that I've ever regretted was maybe not being confident in like scrapping something that I was being way too harsh on myself about, when I know it was probably fine. Like, that just is how it is. Like that's why so many vlogs don't get made by me, because I psych myself out and I'm like, oh, I don't think this is interesting. But I mean, if someone doesn't want to watch it, they don't have to. But I've never filmed anything that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. That's not happened to me. And it wouldn't, because I wouldn't post that anyway. But I wouldn't even be in that situation, because I'm not going to do something fucking crazy. Are the number of views, subscribers meaningful to you? In a way they are, and then in a way they're not, right? So I remember when I first started Booktube, I got a lot of followers pretty early, and then YouTube was really pissing me off because I would get followers and they would go away. I really let those fluctuating numbers bother me. I mean, it really bothered me so much, because I'm like, oh man, I'm so excited. I got 200 subscribers, and then it would fall back down to 100 something, and then it would just kind of stay there. And I was like, well, I don't understand. Like, I just got all these people. Why are they going away? You know, during that time, it felt like everybody was losing subscribers, and it wasn't even people that just weren't active on their YouTube. Like, I was also somehow unsubscribed from people. I don't understand how that worked, but I definitely let it get to me at first. And one thing that my husband said to me, which was very good advice, because he's a Twitch streamer, he was like, you know, the number of people who are subscribed to you can definitely matter, but think about all the people that are subscribed to you who you interact with. Everybody matters, but those people really matter because they are coming back and interacting with you. So just focus on the people who are doing that. Make sure you're doing that for other people. And that's what's important. So I'm excited that I have 500 subscribers. That's something that I really wanted. I will be really happy if I ever get 1,000 subscribers, but I'm not going to let it define my happiness or, you know, be that big of a deal for me. So it's meaningful in that it's like a milestone, but it's not meaningful in that like that defines if I'm good or not, or if people like me. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. If I remain like a smaller booktuber, it's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm still having fun. And that was the thing I told myself when I started this. If I stop having fun, then I won't do it. And that could be at 20,000 subscribers or still at 500. It is what it is. And as far as views, I get really excited when I look at a video that's like, I can't believe it got viewed that much. But again, it's another thing I try not to like get me too worked up on, like not to let me down. Always got to be positive about it. Are the number of views, subscribers a measurement of success? I don't think so. You could have 20,000 subscribers. You could have 1,000 subscribers. I don't think that it measures your success necessarily. I think it can be really nice when you see your numbers grow. Always appreciate that, always be excited about that, but it doesn't mean that you're not successful just because your numbers haven't grown so much. Like I said, I'm a smaller booktuber. I might stay a smaller booktuber. I might never hit 1,000 subscribers, but again, as long as I'm having fun, I'm enjoying it, I still like what I'm doing, that's all that matters. That's the measurement of success for me. If I'm still having fun and keeping to the expectations that I put on myself, then I'm doing good. And so far, I'm doing very good and I'm very happy. Are you disappointed by the growth of your channel? No, I'm not disappointed. Now, would I like a little bit more growth? Yes, that would be awesome. I certainly would not poo-poo that, okay? But I'm not disappointed because, again, I know I'm repeating myself over and over again, but the whole point of this for me was to have fun with it. I'm still having fun, so even if I was at 100 subscribers, which I think maybe that, I can't deny, maybe I'd have a little bit tinge of disappointment there, like, oh damn, I've been doing this for 3 years. I only had 100 subscribers, but if even half of the people that were my subscribers, if I only had 100, still talk to me and interact with my videos, that's what matters, right? So it would be awesome if I could have more subscribers. That would be cool. I certainly would embrace it, but it's not a disappointment to me that it's been a slower growth because it's still growing. It's still growing, and that makes me happy. Every time I get a new subscriber, every time someone interacts with me in the comments, it makes me happy. So no, I'll never be disappointed. Have you ever thought about quitting Booktube? Not yet. Not yet. Still feeling pretty good about it. Again, if I stopped having fun, I would. So, I mean, I'm not going to try to keep myself somewhere that I don't feel like I'm enjoying, but I feel pretty lucky that I'm still really having a lot of fun doing Booktube. What are the most touching comments? The most touching comment I ever got was, I think Lonnie said this. Hi, Lonnie, if you're watching. That she said, like, she was watching my video while she was eating, and she was like, she was having lunch with me, and that's like how the video was for her. It was like sitting across from your friend and y'all are just having a conversation. One of the best compliments I ever got in my life when I was a teenager, when my friends would come over, was them being like, when I'm here, I feel like very comfortable and I feel like I'm in like a second home in a way. I've always been really like sentimental about that. Like, if someone feels like they're comfortable around me and it's just like effortless for us to be around each other, that means a lot to me. So that means a lot. Other touching comments, every time my stepdad leaves a comment, I love them. I know he's watched the whole video, which I find very, very sweet. Thank you so much for watching my videos. He comments pretty much every single time. I don't think there's a single video he hasn't commented on. I appreciate when people give me advice. I've been given really good advice about doing YouTube shorts. I think that helped my growth, and I really appreciate the comment that I got months ago, sometime this year, but months ago, and then it helped me get better about making reels and about making shorts. So I really appreciate that comment. What are the most negative comments? So knock on wood, I haven't received any. I feel pretty lucky that so far I haven't got anything nasty commented to me. Nothing negative. Nothing negative. I hope that I never do, because that was the other thing that made me kind of nervous about starting Booktube. I really was scared about someone being really mean to me. I see some of the comments that some people get, and I'm shocked why why somebody would comment those things. But at the same time, if I got one, I'm just saying now, I'm not going to argue with anybody. Back in the day, and when I was a bit younger, I would go back and forth. If I didn't have time, I would make time to argue with people. And it was fun. It was fun having a little back and forth. But now, at this age, it's not going to happen. If someone is negative, I'm just going to delete and block you. I don't see the point. I don't want to expend any energy. It's not going to bother me, because I'm just not even going to read it. Especially if it's a too long to read comment. I'm not reading all that. Delete, block, talk to yourself. Is what it is. But again, knock on wood, I haven't received any. I hope that I don't receive any. Please don't be mean to me. In regards to Booktube, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I hope that 5 years from now, I am still doing this because I'm still having fun with it. I hope that I am making more fun videos. I mean, it would be cool if 5 years from now I could do this full time and I could be a full-time booktuber. That would be awesome, because there's a lot of people who are full-time booktubers that I follow that I just think they're so, like, it's just so cool that they get to do that. So I hope that 5 years from now, in this situation, it would be cool to, you know, maybe 5 years from now have 1,000 subscribers. Again, it's not about the number, but like, that number would be cool. Five years from now, that would be cool to see that. But I just hope that I'm still having fun if I'm still doing it. That's all that matters. And that is behind the Booktube book tag. Again, as I said, please feel free to do this tag. All of the questions will be in the description box below. Thank you so much for being a subscriber to my channel. I appreciate you guys so much. I've had such a good 3 years doing this. I do hope that I can do it longer. I do hope that I continue to have fun. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys so much. And thank you to the person who made themselves the 500 subscriber. That's awesome. I appreciate you so much. And yeah, that's really it. The year's almost over and we only have a few weeks left of December, and I think it's ending on a good note for the most part, you know, just in this little tiny bubble and not with everything going around in the world. It's hard to have happy moments when you are still making sure that you are keeping up to date, sharing information that's going on in the world. So hopefully this was a nice little fun video. If you want to do it, please do it. Let me know. Tag me or something. I would love to see it. And you guys have a good day. Goodbye.